Disney won't even allow you to do that anyway, like with their contract. So if you're a writer, for example, you have another job at Disney or even a part-time job or something else for them,
Mm-hmm.
you can't go off and just write for somebody else because
Oh, sure.
everything that you create is owned by them.
But yeah, I'm still interested to see how this writer strike ends up panning out, since we haven't had one of those for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it won't take too long for them to, have the studios come to their senses and actually, pay them.
That would be nice, huh?
Right. Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, did you hear what Disney said recently with all this?
No, I
Um,
didn't.
so basically, they were like, okay, so we understand writers that, you're doing the strike, whatever. But if you have a secondary job in our company outside of writing, you need to continue to do that, even if you're going to get fined for breaking the strike.
What? Oh my God.
Right. Yeah. Because understandably, as part of the union, it's like, well, don't continue to work or the union's going to fine you because unified strike, whatever. And yeah, Disney's just like, we're not going to accept that.
So then they'd be considered a scab, sort of, but not really.
Perspective of the union, they would be considered a scab, even if they're not actually doing writing duties. I also heard that Amazon's Rings of Power show, they're just going to continue going on with filming without their writing staff.
Mm.
So I don't know how that's going to work out.
Yeah. So Disney, but anyway, I was to wrap up the Disney thing. Like, so Disney's like, okay, you can't, if you work for some other capacity at Disney in any way, and you're also a writer.
Yes.
In being a writer for anybody else, but it'd be, yeah, because Disney won't even allow you to do that anyway, like with their contract. So if you're a writer, for example, you have another job at Disney or even a part-time job or something else for them, you can't go off and just write for somebody else because everything that you create is owned by them. Same with Hasbro, and I don't know if Universal has that policy, but a lot of studios have that policy. Yes. But basically, they're saying like, okay, if you're a writer, you're part of the writer's strike. But if you have another job for Disney, you can't do it. You have to continue doing your other job, or you'll get fired from that. So they're forcing these people into this horrible decision, horrible choice.
Exactly. Yeah, it's tough right now in general for writers because a lot of them are needing this income to go forward, and if their complaint is that they don't get much money as it is, it's like this is tough in the meantime while they're getting even less by not working.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know what the union maybe has in place to help the writers out while the strike is ongoing.
I don't know. I'm glad it's happening. Of course, I stand in solidarity with the writers, but
absolutely,
it's also like a thing like, well, what are we? I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but with this, with the new technology and AI, and the way that they work writers' rooms now anyway, apparently. Like they used to have one writer's room and they would write a couple of series. They may film a pilot or do so whatever. And then they would, if the studio execs liked it, they would, order it to series, right? And they'd have those writers and they'd work on the show. Mm-hmm. Now they have multiple writers' rooms, I guess, where a bunch of different writers are separate from each other. And then the executives look and they pick which script they want and everybody else fucks off and then they choose that one,
Yes, and I did hear that as being one of the complaints.
And so then they're like freelancing, essentially. They're trying to move everybody over into this freelance type thing and not pay, you don't have to pay benefits, you don't have to pay, full-time salaries, you don't have to pay any of that stuff.
Yep.
And that's where everything's going. Gig economy bullshit stuff.
Yeah. And that's, from my understanding, one of the big points they're trying to do is to say, like, we want to be given a guaranteed paycheck even when we're, not necessarily being used, like, during that period of time or whatever. Like, if you're a writer for a TV show and there's an expectation the show's going to keep going, then during the entire course of that show, they should be getting a steady paycheck.
Right.
is the argument. Yeah.
Right. And also the residual thing too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because that's true. I heard the streaming services are giving them significantly less than they were getting before.
Right. Even though they're making more.
Right. Exactly.
So, and you were saying, I was saying about AI, like a lot of these shows, because of the way they do it now anyway, you could have some guy just use Chat GPT, write these stories, and sometimes to resolve the story, Chat GPT, I guess, gets in a loop, and you have to kind of break it. But I mean, they could get these stories written and not have to pay these people. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they tried to do.
Yeah. Although with that said, I would love if the studios tried to just use ChatGPT for writing their scripts, and then we just get like whatever 2 or 3 seasons or some horrible amount of time that it's just the worst shows you've ever seen because nobody's actually fine tuning the scripts.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'd like to have them, step on their dicks. But someone's gonna try it if they haven't already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, I did hear there was a concern that like right now they haven't fully figured out how to be able to copyright anything that ChatGPT and the like creates. So if they can't copyright it, then it's not worth them using it.
Ah, well, that's interesting. I didn't even think about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess if they make enough alterations, ChatGPT, nobody owns the copyright, right? Creates it, but if they make enough alterations, like just use ChatGPT to get the rough outline and then put in some things here and there and change change enough of it to where the studio can then copyright their own thing, even though the tool was used. That's no different than saying like, okay, I used Microsoft Word.
Exactly, yeah.